Zodiac wheel is spinning round and round. What mysteries are there? Hey, Tuvies, it's Psychic Bob. I know I'm getting this out a little late today. You got to bear with Psychic Bob. My reading schedule is still through the roof. Thank you for all of you who've been calling for private readings. But I ask y'all, everybody be patient with me. Psychic Bob's getting all of you on the schedule as fast as he can. And also ask for patience from you YouTubers as I try to get out videos. Probably the next few days, it's just going to be getting them out a little later than usual. But, you know, I would never forget you. I love all of you. Anyways, today I've been working. I just got in from the office. I've been there all day doing readings. Now I've got more readings tonight. But I've been wearing my beautiful Zodiac wheel pendant. Isn't that great? This is a vintage piece from the 1970s. It's part of my treasured collection. I love it. So this used to be the pendant belonged to Jean Dixon, a very famous psychic and astrologer. And I bought this a few years ago. I bought out a bunch of pieces from her estate. And I got this treasure. It's great. Anyways, I'm so glad you're here. Well, we got a lot to talk about today. It's Zodiac Thursday. And for all the new people just subscribed, we do this every Thursday. I talk about an aspect of astrology. And, you know, we might talk about an aspect of astrology, such as a transit, or we might talk about a chart, or I might answer a question. If people have a question, we'll put a chart together. So we do a lot of things here. Anyways, we're getting this out, as I said, a little late, but better late than never. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about some of the energy going on today. And then we're going to talk about retrogrades. And that's going to be our topic today, retrograde motion in planets. And what does it mean for you? Okay. But let's look at where we are today. Today is April 13th. 2017. Today our sun is in Aries. That's a lot of firepower. Our moon is in Scorpio, which is water power. This is a great combination because even though Scorpio is a water sign, it has such deep power. It feels almost like hidden fire. And I used to always confuse Scorpio, calling it a fire sign. And I still do that sometimes. So anyways, to me, the energy is the same. Even though technically fire and water clash, in this case, I would say it's a case of opposites attract, okay? Now, today we also have some interesting lunar transits going on. Our moon today is sextile the planet Uranus. This is in a favorable aspect, and Uranus is the planet that brings sudden insight, inspiration, sometimes zaniness. But in this case, it's like fun that is generated from a good place, okay? We have one challenging aspect today is that our moon is in opposition to Mars. And opposition with the planet means that there's going to be a clash of power, and particularly with Mars, this is not necessarily a favorable aspect. The good thing with the moon sextile Uranus today means try to keep a light-hearted attitude, try to laugh, try not to take things personally, and you'll avoid conflict today. Now, we also have our Mars trine Venus, and a trine aspect is a favorable aspect. So this means that you're going to have a heightened sense of your self-appearance, the way you feel, the way you interrelate to people, and even a little bit of energy for love. That's right. So today is an interesting day. I would say to get through the rest of this day, try to, as I said, keep a lighthearted attitude, stay out of arguments, focus on how you feel about yourself and how you look. And this will avoid you getting into conflicts. You know, you want to stay away from that Martian energy. If somebody tries to start, you know, giving you problems today, just sidestep it, make it light, don't get involved. Don't try to win an argument because you won't, okay? That Aries energy, and the sun is in Aries, will push people. And with that Martian energy at the moon, can be a little dicey if you have conflicts. So try to avoid conflicts, keep things light, okay? Now, tomorrow, going into our weekend, Friday, April 14th, we have a more favorable day. Our sun, of course, is still in Aries, fire energy. Our moon, which is in Scorpio still, around 1 p.m. in the afternoon, actually, to be technical, because astrologers are down to the minute. I tend to round things off, which annoys a lot of astrologers. At 12:54 p.m. Eastern time, Eastern U.S. time, the moon moves into Sagittarius. So calculate that for whatever time zone you're in. Sagittarius is also a fire sign. And so there's a balance of energy, a lot of motivation. Sagittarius brings out that hunter-gatherer. And so tomorrow is a very good day for business. It's a good day to go after new contracts, new accounts, new clients. It's a great day to work on job applications, resumes. You got a lot of go out and get it energy, and it's very positive. We also have our sun aspecting Uranus tomorrow. And this is an interesting alignment because the sun is one of the powerhouses of the zodiac. And with that Uranus aspect, it means things could be a little zany tomorrow. But remember, try to just keep your focus tomorrow rather than getting caught up in drama. So if you're in a place where there's a lot of drama tomorrow, just say, I'm going to focus on my task. I'm not getting involved in drama. And take all that energy and use it to push out on your agenda. Don't get caught up in other people's issues or agenda. So today and tomorrow, that's a real thrust. As we go into the weekend, we've got still that Sagittarius energy, meaning success continues. So it looks very positive here for you guys for the next few days, okay? Now, we're going to talk about retrogrades. What is a retrograde? Some people don't know what this is. Retrograde comes from the old astrology when they would literally look at the sky and they would notice how the planets move in their orbits or move across the sky. And then there would be times when it looked like a planet that was going from here over to here would stop and then start to go backwards. The truth is the planets don't actually go backwards. It's an illusion created by the motion of the Earth and the alignment of the planets from the angle that they're being viewed at. But from an astrological place, it did seem to bear out a significant energy that would outplay on the Earth. Retrogrades tend to be a time, now a lot of people panic out and they say, oh, retrograde, everything's falling apart. No, 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 don't look at it like a chicken with the sky falling. What it means is that this is a time to step back and to evaluate things, evaluate people, evaluate relationships, evaluate situations. Think about what's going on and what could go on and what isn't going on. Okay, now the reason why this is really important is right now we have 3 planets at the same time in retrograde. This isn't necessarily strange, but it is important that we understand it. For example, the big one that everybody always talks about is Mercury retrograde. Now, we are in Mercury retrograde from April 9th to May 3rd. What that means is when Mercury is in retrograde, it means communications get a little wonky, they can go awry. This is a time also where you will see technical things such as computers, printers, things that deal with communication go crazy. Telephones go out. I used to work at a company where, honest to God, the entire phone system would go down and be down for like a whole day. And I would always look at my ephemeris. I said, is Mercury in retrograde? And it would always happen right when Mercury went into retrograde. I could set my clock by it. Hopefully you're not going to have so much of a drama, but it is more likely to occur during Mercury retrograde. Now, this is also a time from April 9th to May 3rd, be very careful with contracts or legal agreements. You want to double check it, have a lawyer triple check it. Don't commit to agreements until you've had professional help. And even then, double check it again. Because it's very easy to get caught in contracts that are to your detriment during Mercury retrograde. So don't just go sign any cell phone agreement and say, oh, that's cool, I just got a cell phone for $10, and find out that you just committed to a 40-year plan, okay, that you can't get out of without $1 million debt. So that's the type of stuff you got to be careful of Mercury retrograde. Now, what else is going retrograde? At the same time, we are now in Jupiter retrograde. And we've been in Jupiter retrograde actually since February 6th. And we are in Jupiter retrograde from February 6th to June 9th. When Jupiter goes retrograde, well, let me explain this. Jupiter is never necessarily a bad planet. In any format, it's always pretty good. So there's always a blessing around Jupiter. But when Jupiter goes in retrograde, what this means is that this is a time when you need to step back, particularly in your business area, and think about growth. Have you made your goals? Where are you not making your goals? Look at it from a place of introspection, not necessarily blame, okay? Because Retrograde is not about blame, like, oh, the retrograde and now everything's gone. No, no, no. Retrograde is a time we say, how can we improve? How can we maximize our growth in the coming days? Mercury retrograde, I like to think of it as kind of like if you have a slingshot, and you pull back, you just hold on to it, and if you stretch it a little more, once you let it go, boom, the rock really flies, okay? And so you look at your business plan, it's like, okay, we're at this tension, but if we go back here, when we release, we got twice as much power to go forward, and we're going to get a lot more blessing. So particularly for those of you who are working on getting jobs right now or looking at job transition, from now till June 9th, I would really encourage you, rather than pushing hard on knocking out resumes, you do better to really evaluate how you've done your resume. Maybe it's time to review that. Look at, the jobs you're applying for. Maybe you're applying for jobs that are not really in harmony with where you are today. Many people get caught up in the trap of saying, well, I've always done this type of work and therefore I'll apply for that type of work. But on your soul level, during Jupiter retrograde, you may say, you know what? I feel like a major career shift. I'm going to leave, secretarial work, and I'm going to explore starting my own business, you see. That type of energy is present during Jupiter retrograde, So use Jupiter retrograde to think about how you can grow your life and get things going on the right track, okay? Now, the other planet we got is Venus retrograde. Venus is the planet that deals with love, deals with relationships, deals with self-image as well. How do you feel about yourself? Venus retrograde is a time to look at, where are you struggling in relationships? Are you having problems with your partner, your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend? If so, maybe there's an energy breakdown, communication breakdown. Try to evaluate where you've gone wrong in the relationship and where you could do better. Again, during retrogrades, don't put the energy out on everybody else like, oh, well, that person did that and therefore I don't like them. Venus retrograde reminds us that we all have a part to play in connecting with others, and it asks us how to look at our part in the process. So you see, as I said, this is a very great time for self-reflection. Venus retrograde is actually kind of a good time to work on, if you're couples, do couples counseling, because it allows you to really go into that introspective place and evaluate how you've performed or not performed in a relationship. So I always tell people, it's Venus retrograde. If you're having problems in your marriage, get a counselor now. This is a great time to work on that. Venus retrograde also allows us to think about how we want to project ourselves to the world. If you feel like, I don't look good, I don't feel confident, you might want to use Venus retrograde time, which, by the way, goes from March 4th to April 15th. We're almost out of it, but we got a few more days. Use that Venus retrograde to think about your self-image. Maybe you want to invest in a new wardrobe. Maybe you want to get your hair done. Maybe you want to do things that make you feel good about you and how you project yourself to the world. So all of these retrogrades are actually positive times for self-reflection, self-evaluation, and growth ultimately. So I encourage you not to be overwhelmed when you see or hear an astrologer say, oh, we're in retrograde, Mercury retrograde, everything's going to hell. Yes, there are times when retrogrades do create chaos, but they don't have to be. And that chaos is generally reflective of something that was out of whack even before the retrograde. But the retrograde just brings it to your attention, you see. And so, when I worked at that company and the phones would go down, what it was is a sign that the company had not invested in the infrastructure to improve the phone system. Had they done that, we wouldn't have had an entire year of the phone going down every Mercury retrograde. So it was a time for reflection. So use all of these times for your self-evaluation, your self-growth, and make retrogrades actually a time of power. Don't be the victim of the retrograde. You're not. You are an empowered person, and you are on a journey, okay? So anyways, want to come here and share these with you on Zodiac Thursday. I am so glad you're here. By the way, just so you know, next week on Monday, we will get back to horoscopes. I know you've been asking. This past Monday, Psychic Bob with his work schedule just needed a break. And so we just went out and did a walk last week. But I know a lot of you saying, where are our horoscopes? This upcoming Monday, we will do horoscopes again for you guys, okay? So we'll spin around the wheel. But here on the Zodiac Thursday, as the wheel of the Zodiac spins, I want to just remind you, if you're feeling overwhelmed in your life, especially now with retrograde, just pause. Look to the stars. From the stars come all the wisdom and guidance. And you are part of the cosmos, and you never need to have fear. Remember that the stars do not control us nor compel us. They are friends, our allies. They are pointers on the way on our journey. So keep faith, hope, and love in your heart. And remember that each day the sun rises, and it brings with it new hope for a new day. And above us, the stars are always in motion and spinning, bringing us new power, new opportunities, and many blessings. You guys are the best. Thank you for being here with me. I so love connecting with you. Thanks for your patience with me as my schedule's been very busy, but I love all of you. I send you my blessings. Keep it here. Tomorrow is Friday, and we're going to have UFO Friday, so Psychic Bob won't forget you. I love you guys. We'll see you back here then. But until then, may you always blessed be.